What's up, peeps? Welcome to the Up and After podcast. Grab a mug. Let's have a talk.
What do you want? It's too early for visitors.
I then awake as refreshed and recharged as a newborn child, ready to take on the day's challenges.
Welcome to the Up and After podcast, where we don't have the tea, we don't have the water, we don't have the coffee. Well, Riley actually has the coffee, but we together have the juice. That's what we're watching today.
So what where you're going with that. I'm surprised I didn't put it together. Wow.
Yeah.
Well played.
Thank you. Yeah, we're watching 1992 Juice.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. That was off the top of my head. Featuring Tupac Shakur.
Crazy.
I believe this is his first movie. I can double check, but let me see.
I think you're right. I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
After we watched it. Yeah, I believe it. I believe you're correct.
Okay. Yeah. It was
Shocking, by the way. Shocking. Can I just I just want to get right out of there.
Wait.
Just,
I know.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Just give me.
Go
Wait,
on.
actually, no.
Go
Go
on.
ahead. I'll let you.
I'm just like, all right. So I've never seen Tupac as an actor, and I don't even really listen to Tupac that much as an artist, right?
Mhm.
It's just not my, the kind of music that I find myself listening to. Most of the rap and hip hop kind of stuff I absorb from Chris, and it's all very, very good when he shows stuff like that to me. But my word. His acting in this movie is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked. And for the most part, across the board, the acting in this movie is so good.
Mhm.
It's really good. There is one exception that I'm going to bring up.
Ooh,
But
I wonder.
across the board, I
really
really
interested to know who it is.
I loved the acting in this movie. And I'll mention my favorite scene when we get to it. But yeah, dude, Tupac as an actor,
Yeah,
he was so impressive.
I think maybe through. Oh, okay. Let me talk about what I wanted to talk about originally. Riley, I had oh man, I was struggling with whether or not I wanted to like show you this movie or future movies that are like, because I do think I want to go down like the 90s like urban violence or like city violence black movies,
Sure.
I do want to show you more of those, but I've been kind of like debating on whether or not I want to do that as a whole, because I think sometimes, like, especially on like social media these days, it's a lot about like the preservation of like black art, and then sometimes like taking or showing that art to white spaces or spaces that outside of the black community, sometimes it gets taken or like not appreciated as much. So it's like we as a black community are trying to like figure out like, do we gatekeep the art that we create, so it doesn't get taken or monetized in a way that's like weird, right? And I'm not saying you would do that, but it's just in like a thing that has been kind of in the ecosystem of black culture recently.
All right.
But one reason why I kind of wanted to show you this is because like I think it's just so like that era of like movies were just really cool to me, like
Right.
it's like without things like Juice or Boys in the Hood or New Jack City, that it goes on and on. We don't have things like Good Kid, Mad City, which is like like is said to be one of the greatest hip hop albums from Kendrick Lamar, right? But like that
right.
doesn't exist without kind of like Juice, if that makes sense. It's just
Sure.
yeah, it's just really cool. And I was like, man, this is like such a, and it also influences like black culture within like homes and stuff. Like I grew up watching these type of movies, right? And I'm just like, this is, I just think it would be dope to talk about it
Yeah,
on the pod,
that's
especially down
interesting.
older. Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting that you're tackling this from the wider kind of cultural impact and just the general culture around movies like this.
Mhm.
Whereas, when I'm thinking about what we're going to discuss, I'm looking at it as, a film, like we normally do with these movies. So that's a really interesting
Yeah.
contrast that we have going on here.
And that's like another reason why I wanted to show you, because it's like you're watching it like as a film, and I'm like, I want to know like what it looks like or what you're thinking when you're watching this. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just,
So just off the top, before we go into the nitty gritty, I really enjoyed this. I
good.
was invested the whole time. I really enjoyed the characters. I thought the cinematography was really impressive. I thought there were some really good shots, a lot of great long takes.
Yeah.
And just overall, it was just a really, really gripping thriller, I think, is the best way I could go. Is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah, it's definitely a thriller. I think at times it feels like a horror movie, and I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
No, it's like the end of the final climax. Oh my god, it was kind of terrifying. And just generally, the back half of the movie, Tupac's character is so scary.
Right.
Like he is genuinely like a slasher villain where every single scene he goes up with any character like, all right, well, this character's gonna die and it's gonna be horrible.
Yeah,
it's great.
Man. Yeah. I think also people like going back to just Tupac and once again, like Riley said, like everyone acted really well in this movie. I'm just gonna point to Tupac because that is the person that like everyone knew, you know what I mean? Like he was the name. It's like I think also people were forgetting though that like Tupac went to like a school of art. Like he went to school, I think, for theater.
Right.
But I might be wrong there. It might have been for music as well. But like he loves like just art in general. And even before he became like an artist, he was a background dancer for Digital Underground, which was like a R&B group, right? So it's just like if you didn't know that, you just took like maybe Tupac in his later years, you were just like, oh, okay, like he was a rapper, he was an artist, and the way that he died was also really sad and due to like violence and stuff like that. So you're just kind of like, oh, okay, like probably have some pre-assumptions, but it's just like, nah, man, this dude was like basically like an art kid. So it's just really funny.
Yeah,
because in this movie, it's like,
I'm looking at his page here. Yeah, he did a lot of theater in high school, and then he attended the Baltimore School for the Arts and did more theater productions there. So I mean, it makes perfect sense that he's coming into this with some experience.
Yeah.
Says he has an admiration for Shakespeare and Shakespeare dramas, so that's kind of neat.
Yep.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah,
most impressive.
He really stands out in this movie too, man. It's just kind of crazy. Yeah, how did you?
No, all the characters are great. Or all the actors, like the main four actors, were so good. And I mean, just my favorite fucking scene is just that. Like it's basically the kind of the inciting incident.
Yeah,
to go with the film term of them in the apartment, just going at it.
Yeah.
And it was just gripping, and I'm just like, holy fuck, this is intense, and this is just it was just so good.
Yeah, man, it's
just the energy of that scene, and it was all done in like a long take. It was so good,
and you understand where like every character is coming from, or like you understand these characters, they're very distinct. And like, what I love about Juice specifically in term when you're putting it up against other like movies of the genre of the time, like, and you'll see this, Riley, maybe like when we start watching more of these, but you always have like, because all these movies are trying to say something, especially because at the time America was looking like, like urban black kids are susceptible to violence just because, or like they're just violent, there's no real reason. We just urban kids live in the city, they're violent. And I think every movie was trying to say, well, this is our experience. This is the actual experience. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
always like the good kid and the kid that's like has talent, right? They're gonna get out the urban city violence by playing basketball or rapping, you know, or whatever. And that's kind of what our main character Q is. Like he's the DJ. And then, you know, you have like the kid that's like, or you have like the one that's like the actual gangster. So like in Boys in the Hood, it would be like Ice Cube's character, right? So like all these like archetypes, but I think this movie does a good job because it's not like they're not in a gang. They're just a bunch of teenagers. You know, like they're just friends who just so happen to like live in like environment that is not working the best for them.
I mean, I can kind of see where you're saying. Like, and this is sort of almost a setup movie towards one of these other movies.
Exactly. Yeah,
like
that's
it is
perfect.
showing how people get to these. It's a lot like season 4 of The Wire in that way, where they have all the young characters as a means of showing you how the characters that we've been following up to this point got to where they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. That is perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's always like I think this movie does that really. I like the setup part really well, especially when, like I said, around this time you were having all the other like well developed like they're already in it. They're usually like gang, you know, affiliated, and it's like this is dope. I really enjoyed it. But yeah,
I just remember the scene when Q goes into like the bar, right?
Yeah.
And the guy just starts the robbery. He's just having a normal ass conversation. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to hit this place. You ready?
It was funny. He's like, yo, he's like, bro, like, you're back. He's like, yeah, I'm back, man. He's like, dude, you were in there for so long. He was like, yeah. He's like, can you like, stop for a second? He's like, what's up? He's like, I'm about to rob this place. You want anything? He's like, you want in on this? Nah. I don't think he even says no. He just shakes his head and back up. Like,
well, because by the time he's asking, he's already pulling out the gun.
And it's like not like a pistol thing. It's like a fucking sawed off or some shit.
That was so funny and so shocking at the same time.
That guy died.
Yeah, he did.
How did you feel about no, not how did you, well, yeah, it is a feeling. What were you thinking going into this? Like, because I didn't tell you what we were watching or like what we were doing. Yeah. It was just kind of like the first half of this movie and then the second half of this movie. And I was like, I wonder what Riley's like thinking this movie's about to be.
I mean, I was just kind of vibing with it. Yeah. I wasn't sure where it was going to go. I think we had mentioned this while we were watching this, or maybe not. Maybe I was just thinking about it in my head about how we were going to talk about it. But it was a movie that was being carried by the fact that the performers were really good and they were drawing me into the characters. But I wasn't quite sure what the conflict was going to be, what the overall plot, what kind of adventures that we're going to get into, what is, what's the purpose of the movie. And I think obviously the apartment scene is the inciting incident there, but I mean the big scene, I mean the thing that basically turns the movie on its head is the heist on the drugstore, where they end up killing the store clerk, and then eventually they kill Raheem, right?
Yep.
And from that point on, I mean, very clearly, the rest of the movie is going to be them navigating the aftermath of that, especially as it pertains to Tupac's character and him having a gun and being kind of on edge. And I mean, from that point, I'm just I'm locked in and I'm ready to go because I was just so entranced by what was going on. But I mean, to start out, I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but I wasn't like. I mean, I was in from the start just because I was enjoying the characters and the acting. I guess. I wasn't really thinking. I guess I wasn't really thinking about where it was going, just because I was enjoying being in the setting.
Yeah, and I think for me, like at the start, I thought maybe it would be like kind of a comedy, a little bit,
right?
Like maybe not a comedy, but like a a coming of age story, and I do think it's
Yeah.
that, but like just
It is, yeah.
yeah, but taking it more of like these are just teenagers hanging out in like there might be some like violence and stuff, but overall it's about like their friendship,
Yeah.
like Stand By Me, if I not mistaken. Like, Stand By Me is kind of like that, right? In a way.
I haven't seen it all the way through.
Yeah, me neither. Damn it, finally. You were my point of
Sorry.
reference. But yeah, I guess it would be like Stand By Me in my head, or like maybe the front half of it, right?
Sure.
So like I just love
I mean, that could
oh sorry,
that could
go
have been
ahead.
like that could have been the
The like
these,
influence,
suspension. Well, I was gonna say the
suspicion of
subversion.
oh,
That's
subversion.
it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That could have been the subversion they were going for, like telling a coming of age story that you might be used to, but doing kind of a gritty, realistic look at coming of age as it pertains to Black youth growing up
Mhm.
in New York City or any other kind of urban setting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if that was what they're going for, but
I think after we finish here, we should watch the trailer because I would really know how they marketed this movie.
yeah.
But yeah, I just always thought it was really interesting once like you said, the inciting incident happened, and I'm like, oh, I'm sitting here like these characters, like they're arguing, and everything that we've shown up to this point makes sense on why they're arguing this way, because like to me, Bishop, which is Tupac's character, he's like, also I feel like this movie could have had 20 more minutes and I've been perfectly fine with that. The only reason I'm saying that is because at the beginning we have this like the movie opens up with like this montage and showing like all the characters and kind of what they're doing and how they're gonna all end up meeting each other, like, or not meeting each other, but like coming together in the end. And like Bishop character is like looking at who I presume is his dad, and he's just staring at him, and I'm like, what is this? What am I supposed to get from this? And he like walks up to him and he just puts like, I think, money in his shirt, his dad's shirt, but his dad doesn't really acknowledge him. But Bishop goes in and acknowledges his mom, and he has like this face of like, man, I love this woman, but it's not the same for his dad. And it's like, okay, so am I supposed to, without them saying it, am I supposed to assume that he has like a really rocky relationship with his dad, and like he's not, he doesn't feel like maybe he's seen by his dad, or his dad doesn't really care about him, but both parents are in the home.
Yeah, because I don't remember them going back to his family at all.
No.
Afterwards.
Yeah, not really anyone's family. Like after we kind of get that first introduction, it's kind of closed off for the most part.
No, I mean they go back to Q's house a couple times, and they go back to Raheem's house for the funeral. So
oh, that's true. I was thinking we go back to Q's like room, and then his like little brother is there.
His little brother, and his mom's on screen a few times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and it goes and shows everyone else's house, and we do see like Raheem talking to his sister and like joking around about like the bathroom, and it just seems like everyone else is having like pretty happy like lives for the most part, you know what I mean? Whereas Bishop has this weird relationship with his dad, and then going forward, you kind of see like that the inciting incident. He's like watching this like cowboy, I think he's watching like a Western film, and he's like, oh, that looks so fucking cool, right? He's like, this is dope, and while everyone else is kind of like, oh, no, like it's whatever, it's like it's a movie, but he's seeing like the power within the film.
It's
just
a power
cool,
fantasy
man.
for him. Kind of this, and you can kind of see he sees himself as kind of that cowboy-esque character of getting into standoffs and whatnot. Yeah,
right.
It's a good detail, like
especially like he almost see like it's not even that maybe he sees himself as that, but it's something that he will want to be.
Yeah,
like because and also throughout the beginning half of this, you get to see like Bishop's getting like beat up by a bunch of dudes. You know what I mean? Like a group of like other individuals, you know what I mean? Like they're also like jumping him on the side of the street, but his friends show up to like help him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just really cool, like, to me, where everything kind of ended up, because I'm like, yep, this all makes sense. Like, nothing feels
Yeah.
like, why are these characters doing this? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
And you could see, I mean, someone with his kind of mindset might see being bailed out by his friends as being a bigger weakness, kind of
mhm,
macho pride kind of thing. Whereas he wants to be the one, you know, ending thing.
mhm,
He wants to be the one with the power, i.e., the gun in his hand in that situation.
yeah.
I can see that.
What did you think of like Raheem's character?
Um, man, go- it's unfortunately been a while since we've watched this, but
Yeah,
um, I can't remember too much before. Like obviously his death is the big
yeah, the
the
big.
big I don't want to say end of Act One, but like middle point of the movie that sets up the rest of the plot. You might be able to refresh me more about
Well,
what his stance was and everything, because I remember very vividly Q and Bishop's kind of back and forth throughout the first half.
yeah,
And I'm trying to remember what Raheem's position in it was.
because Raheem to me is like the big brother leader of the group. You know, for all
Right.
intents and purposes, he's like the one that's like, yeah, I love to get into like a little mischief every once in a while, but the moment it kind of goes south, like he's like, I want the best for me and my boys. I love to have fun, but at the same time, he's never gonna like put himself or his friends in a situation that he deems like too risky. I say that, but like I think it was his idea to rob the store, but and I think he's the one that got the gun initially.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
But he also was like, it's this weird thing of like he's the leader and he just doesn't want it to go too far. You know what I mean? Of course, all of them don't want to go too far, but he's like the one that's like, I'm gonna speak up. I don't want y'all fighting because you guys are brothers. You know what I mean? Like you guys kind of like we are all we have. We were each other's brothers, and he just felt like the big brother like leader archetype, and I thought that was really
Yeah,
cool.
and that would make sense that his death would be an even bigger shock to their
Yes,
group dynamic because he was more of a character holding everything together.
exactly. He was the glue. He was the head. So once the head gets chopped off, it was like, who has the power? And once again, like juice, the term they like explain what juice means in the beginning of like basically like having the power or having like this type of like a credence. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so when when Bishop gains the gun, the he feels as if he has the juice. It's not about who's is actually the one with the juice, with the one with the credence. It doesn't matter about Raheem anymore because I'm the one with the actual power, which is the gun.
yeah,
You know, like yeah, I just think that's really really dope, especially like if you're watching this when it came out and you're a, like a kid who's growing up, you're like, oh shit, like that's scary. You know, it puts fear in you in a little bit. You know,
hmm
it's like anyone can have this juice. Anyone can have the power because it's the gun, not the person. You know.
right.
Um, but yeah, yeah. I just wanted to ask you how you felt about Raheem. um,
Oh
yeah.
boy,
What else? Oh,
let's
Q.
see. Yeah,
Yeah. Like, how'd you feel about Q?
he was great. I mean, what-
Uh,
no, he was good. First of all, I mentioned this while we were watching. I think record scratching and like DJing in general, but especially
yeah.
like record scratching is just such a cool talent. I think,
Mm-hmm.
like especially when like when you're really good at it, it can be a real spectacle. I think I
Mm-hmm.
haven't gone too big into a deep dive, but I really love record scratching.
Yeah, I think
I think it's
even
fun.
the
I like it.
evolution of record scratching with like sampling is like really fucking cool. I'm like, how do people get like, how can you like take something and kind of like make it his own thing out of this like one little section of a song, right? And like obviously that comes from like scratching, right? And I'm just like, what? Like, how do you? What is this
Yeah, I appreciate
magic?
that they use that as kind of the running B plot
Mm-hmm.
that kind of gets upset by the whole the whole juice dynamic.
Yep.
I thought that was great. I love how there was just a big kind of underground DJ competition going
Yep.
on. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. With Queen Latifah, what the fuck?
It's true.
They had Queen Latifah in this movie. Samuel L. Jackson, who for one isn't like he's not really like doing anything. You know, he doesn't stand out, I should say. Maybe not doing anything, but he doesn't really stand out. It's just like, oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Nice.
He was cool though. I really appreciated his character as kind of this. He really felt
the
like
hangout spot.
You know, yeah, the hangout spot. He was like a level-headed kind of adult character who still has his shit together. Like, you know, he felt like the kind of guy who doesn't, he doesn't like openly, impose violence. He doesn't carry a gun like openly on him, but he's still the guy that none of the gangs or none of the people with guns actually would want to fuck with. He has kind of a history that everyone knows. You don't want to cat
Raheem.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's in the know about everything, It's pretty cool. The cat Raheem. Yeah, it was great. Going back to Q, I also really I appreciate that he felt like an intelligent character in the final act.
Yep.
Like I never felt like it was like, oh, this guy's like walking into a dumb situation and he's dumb for it. And I'm like, no, he seems like he's overwhelmed by all this by being trying his former friend trying to murder him. But he felt like he made a bunch of right decisions in a row that allowed him to get the upper hand in this situation. I thought that was really commendable. I enjoyed that.
Yep, I agree. Oh, another thing that I like about this movie, going off of him being like an intelligent character a little bit, maybe one could assume if they didn't watch this movie, but they're kind of like hearing us talk, you could be like, okay, so like why didn't they go to the cops or anything of that nature? But I think the movie does a good job of establishing that the cops aren't the saviors. Like they aren't. We're talking about like 90s urban city like violence and cops being a part of that violence, you know what I mean? Especially on black youth, or just people of color, so yeah, I think there's a scene in the back half where like he's running away from Bishop, but then he runs on like the street and the cops are there, and like he immediately goes, oh shit, like that's a threat too, like I have to dodge them as well, that's
that's interesting because I've been watching the fucking Wire for like years now, so I guess I've taken it for granted that that's something that let's be non-charitable, white audiences might not be as tuned into that idea that the police aren't seen as kind of the people you can turn to when you're in trouble,
right?
It's good. That's a good point that you made.
Yeah, and I think the movie shows, because it's not like random. The movie also shows you that, like, with the
they should be
scene
multiple instances.
Yeah, and I think that's cool too, because it could have been easy like, oh, well, we just assumed that the audience knows this, but people from all ages and stuff are watching this movie, or I assume would be watching this movie. So yeah, Is there anything else you wanted to touch on? My bad.
Probably. There was a scene. Trying to remember, but now I can't. I can mention. All right. Do you wanna guess which performer was the one who I was like, that's not like my favorite performance.
Is it I can't even think of his name. Let me actually do a little quick search real quick. Juice characters. Was it Steel?
No, and all four of the main guys I thought.
Okay, great. Huh. I remember us saying we really like the little kid acting too, so it's not the little
kid. Dude, that kid was that was a great child actor. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what I was gonna forget to talk about. I really liked Q's little brother. He was great. Yeah, I just loved like the little scene they had towards the end of the movie. It was just such, it felt real. To me, and I think that was good. That was good.
I don't know who is it.
I believe I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was Q's mom was the one who I frequently noticed. Like, I don't know if I really liked that line read.
Okay, and it's not the woman he was like involved with either, right? The older
No,
woman.
no, it
Okay,
wasn't like
okay,
his girlfriend or whatever.
yeah, huh?
I'm pretty sure it was his mom.
I personally can't speak on because I actually don't even remember her performance all that much. Like,
Right. Oh, I remember the scene I was gonna bring up.
yeah, what is it?
Dog. Bishop showing up at
Dude,
Raheem's like funeral reception.
Oh my god, I want to talk about these scenes with Bishop and like just the interaction with all these characters. I do want to like dive into those, and I wanted to get like all the other stuff that I had in my mind out first. But
Okay.
yes,
Right.
no, I'm done with that.
Okay.
Riley, when I said like I know. Well, I just went on this whole spiel about, the juice is what's in the gun, right? That's the real power. No, the real power was Bishop, this fucking movie. Like, also, if we're going to talk about Q being the smart, like, protagonist of the movie, especially during the end, Bishop's right there. He's right. He's making chess moves. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to show up because I know I was there. The alibi for us doing the shooting and stuff is you DJing and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, it was good that he's not just like, he doesn't just become a crazed murderer who just goes around. He actually has setups and plans and like ways that he's going to get away with everything and eventually frame it all on Q before killing him. You know, it honestly makes it that much scarier. You know, he's not just a psycho. He's someone who actually plans and considers and also will kill you at the end of it, you know?
I think a very small moment that indicates to me that he's not just a crazy killer is the moment he kills Raheem, right? That's the very first, like time he like, well, I was about to say the first time he kills, but he actually kills the fucking store clerk. But like this is someone he like clearly likes, right? Yeah. And instead of just going like, I'm a crazy murderer, I'm the one with the power, right? Because that's not what that's not what it's saying. It's him like he's like, what the fuck did I just do? And he's like trying to calm himself down. He's like, guys, like, we can clean this all up. Like, this will be all fine. We just come back tomorrow and we can like talk about it or whatever the case may be. It's like this, like this little kid, like he's trying to figure it all out. But at the same time, he's like, I gotta step up though. Like I got the power now. I gotta step up. And it's just this really weird balance he's trying to do in his head, and you can see that through the acting. And that's why I'm like,
it's great.
Damn, bro.
and as soon as he gets a grip on it, he immediately threatens the other two friends with death if they talk about it.
Right.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying watching because it's this crazy instability, and the other two characters just have to sit there and watch him grapple with all that, knowing that he can turn the gun on them at any time.
Right. And it's made, and once again, with that initial like fight they had, him and Q in the fucking room in the apartment, they have like a little scuffle, and Q wins. Like, I believe they might throw like a punch or two or like they shove each other, but it's shown that Q is clearly stronger. So it's juxtaposed with like the actual gun having the power again. It's like Q could have did something had he just not had if Bishop didn't have a weapon. But like, it's scary. Like you're not gonna charge a dude with a gun because Raheem just did that, got shot. Like, I don't know, man. It's fuck, dude. I like this movie.
Also, the movie really emotionally gripped me because when I found out that Steele like lived, I was really relieved because I'm like, oh, thank God, and also I was like, dude, yes, tell his girlfriend so he can get the upper hand and we can win this fight. You know, I was invested. You know, it was great.
It was Bishop. Bishop kill Raheem. He's going after Q. Dude. Especially because like Word on the Street was that Q was like trying to kill everybody. You know what I mean? So
right.
It would have sucked if Steele fucking dies and like the truth dies with him. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
All
I,
right, you want to what?
I was gonna talk about Q's like girlfriend for a second
Okay,
because
go for
I
it.
just thought it was really interesting that she's like this older woman and she's like kind of like talking to and dating this like teenager.
Schooler.
Yeah, I'm like, what were they trying to do with this? Like, what was it trying to say? You know, and I still don't know. I think it's kind of weird. Well, I was kind of posing that to see if you had any like any.
I didn't. I honestly didn't. It didn't even like register to me as. I think it's because I think that the actors are doing a great. I don't know how old they were
Yeah.
when they acted this movie, but I think they seem more grown up than they're playing,
Mm-hmm.
and that might be a detriment. But honestly, I think they're just doing such a good job that like I didn't even really care.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I, like when they do scenes like at school, I'm like a very faint part of me is like, man, these guys are still going to high school. It's kind of like it feels kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, another scene I really fucking love is the fucking school scene where like Q's been trying to dodge Bishop the whole movie or like the after the incident, right? And it's crazy because they once again set up in the beginning of the movie that these are like teenagers who like do truancy all the fucking time. They're always skipping school, right? Yeah. So what's the perfect way to dodge Bishop? Let me just take my ass to fucking school.
Go to school.
I'm fucking done. I know Bishop isn't gonna show up at school because he's a little truancy boy, right? Like this has to work. He goes to school and they do the fucking trope that you might find like, oh, that's a terrible trope, but you're not expecting it in this fucking movie where he like opens a door and he's like
he closes
the locker and Bishop is right there.
But I was about to ask you, like, do they do that? Because I want to say I remember that, but that might just be like my brain making me think that they did that because it's such a trope.
No, they did it, and that's why this movie it kind of goes past thriller. It's just a fucking horror movie because right after that he delivers the coldest lines in this fucking film. Right, Bishop's like, he's like, honestly, everyone's calling me crazy, and I felt some type of way about it. But honestly, I don't give a fuck no more. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Raheem. I don't give a fuck about Mr. Blah, blah, blah at the store. I don't even give a fuck about myself. And I was like, that is scary.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Speaking of scary, I wanted. So, do you want to talk about the elevator scene?
Nah, you get that one. That's my favorite. That is my favorite scene in the movie, I think. But go ahead.
I don't have anything to say. It was just, like here's what I have to say. It was the perfect mix of like there's so many moments in this movie that are such a great mix of shocking and hilarious.
Right.
And I think that was like the peak of that.
Yep.
Them just going to hell, they're full of crowded people. And you should know at this point that the movie is going to subvert the subversion that you're expecting. Where you think, all right, well, it's gonna like they're gonna, in this kind of situation, they're gonna wait till like the people leave and then they have a gunfire. They're gonna get off in a floor together or something or other. But no, they subvert the subversion.
It subverts Q's subversion.
What are you gonna just shoot me in an elevator? It's like, yeah, sure.
It's the fact that Bishop's doing all of this shit with a straight fucking face. He does it. His facial expression doesn't change at all. It's just like anger and contempt. He just steps on the elevator. And it's scary because everyone's facing the same direction. But Bishop is just looking at Q.
He's just facing against the whole crowd staring at him.
Also, shout out to everyone in that elevator because the moment he shoots, there's like 2 or 3 guys that are like trying to fucking fight Q for the gun. Like,
hell yeah. Do what you gotta do.
Man, dude.
Also, shout out to the random guy who just took the gun off the floor.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna grab that. Dude, man, once again, horror movie. And cinematography, because like the lighting in this movie, especially like this back half, because it's all
Yeah.
at night. So what's illuminating them is like street lights and stuff, but it's not normal street lights. It's like they do like blues and reds and like these really nice colors. But
Hmm.
it's the scene where because Q has like set up like this whole thing with Bishop where he's like, meet me at the rooftop, basically. That's not where they meet, but he's like, meet me here. And Q like is just waiting for Bishop, and like there's like shadows behind him, and then like Bishop just walks out the shadow. It's like
Yeah.
so fucking cool, but also
Yeah.
once again so scary. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
It's pretty great.
It's
I was just like the whole time. Yeah, no, the movie's just really pretty, and I was just so impressed by all the long takes and all the camera movements that were going
Mhm.
on through each of the scenes, because it was like you don't need to do that. Like the story, the character interactions, the acting would be enough on its own. But the fact that it's just such a pretty movie to look at is was very surprising to me.
Yeah, one really interesting shot that I really loved that I didn't think I would love as much, but one that like sticks in with me, after the movie is the one right after he kills Rahim, and they run back into like this alleyway that they've been hanging out with or hanging out in the whole movie, or like the beginning half of the movie, and it's shot from like as if you're a spectator looking from one of the apartment buildings, because it's just this like courthouse, like I'm not courthouse, court area, like what do you call that?
Courtyard.
Courtyard, thank you. It's like this concrete courtyard, and it's just like four walls around them, and it with like one opening. But you're looking down into this courtyard through like a window almost, and they all like after the Rahim death, they all run into like a corner, and it's just really that moment felt like theater, not a movie. It felt like, oh, we have these places we need to go to give our like monologue or our speeches or our dialogue. And to me it was like really beautiful. I was like, oh, this is cool, because it's almost saying like at this point they're closed into their environment. Their environment is closing in on them. The violence, these things are echoing around them to me. And to decide to shoot it from that angle, I was just like, man, this is dope to me, and it always sticks out to me.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you how like, or ask you, how did you feel about the ending of the movie? Like, yeah. May I
Um.
ask how you feel about like maybe like the last 5 minutes?
Hmm. I mean, the last 5 minutes involved the epic
Yeah, the
showdown.
epic showdown.
If you ask me how I felt about it, like how it resolved,
Yeah.
um, I I thought it was fun. I
Okay.
didn't have like I enjoyed the resolution of you know him, Q kind of being unnerved in the fact that he, now that he's taken a life, he might go down the same road. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what they're implying there.
Yeah.
Um, and in researching, I saw that there was like an alternate ending filmed.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna say what it is before?
No, I don't remember. I
Okay.
just I
Cause
remember that was the thing.
so my first
I
time
don't even.
watching this, I I got all the way to I finished the movie, and right when the movie ended, I was like, wait, what? I was like, I don't know if I like that ending.
Right.
Yeah, and it kind of set with me, and this is my second time watching it. Funny enough, and I was like, oh no, I like this ending. I think this is a pretty good ending. Like, um,
Right.
I still feel like it is abrupt.
Yeah,
And
it
I
is.
feel like, once again, I feel like this movie feels like like it there was a lot of things that they wanted to play with, and they were just like, no, like we're gonna cut those things out because maybe the movie feels too bloated, or it feels unnecessary. And I do feel like the ending maybe is a part of that, but I think it's okay. I don't think it's a complete detriment to the film. I think I was most confused with the little kid being like, oh, you have the juice now, right? And then it kind of
Yeah.
ends. But on
Do you think
second,
that's a bit too kind of
on
on
the
the nose?
nose,
Like have just a random extra character kind of deliver the thesis or like the
yeah,
the theme of the movie to the main
I
character, and then the movie ends.
I do think it was a little on the nose. But the one thing that make it feel like maybe not is because Q shakes his head like, I don't, right? And I still think it's on the nose. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But with the little acknowledgement of like, no, I don't, it's kind of like the period. Like, it's like the, okay. That's almost what I'm supposed to take from this movie, you know? Because it could have been, he says, you got the juice now, and no acknowledgement, and it could just like freeze frame, fade to black. And you're like, oh shit. And like kind of what you said, Riley, of like, oh, maybe he's gonna go down this dark path because he's also taking a life. But I think it's also saying like that's not who he is, you know. And it's trying to say to the young black kids who's watching this, like that doesn't have to be you either. Like he was doing that. He killed someone because of survival, and honestly, he didn't even kill him. He tried to help him. You know, he just
True.
Bishop is the one that put himself in that predicament. You know, so I've come to appreciate the ending a lot more on recent reviewing of the movie. But I just remember initially being like, I don't know if I like that ending all that much. And I wanted to know how you felt about it, being that, you know, you're watching it strictly from like, this is a movie, you know?
Right. I think it depends how much you digest movies that basically, I think there are examples of good movies that are like this, where they basically have no falling action. It just goes directly from climax to resolution.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's just how if you think you can enjoy a movie with that kind of setup. I mean, I just I think any kind of I say that I think a movie with that kind of setup can be done well. I thought this was perfectly serviceable for what the story was. In my opinion.
Yeah. One last thing I did want to talk about with the ending is like Q throws Bishop over the rooftop, right? But he's holding on to Bishop, and I think Bishop says something like don't let me go, like please Q, don't let me go. And obviously he's too heavy, so he falls and like he dies. But what's cool about it is you don't see the street under him. You don't even see his death. He falls into like an abyss. But I think as a director, I don't know what the director was thinking in this, but I think it's really like beautiful, but in a way it's tragic more so. It's beautifully tragic because I think what he's trying to say with this camera placement and the shading of the ground and not being able to see where Bishop falls is like Bishop is like so many black kids who just fall or like they die in this like in this way that no one's ever gonna like know who they are or how they died or what because they like were a victim to their surroundings. You know what I mean? Like
he wasn't able to pull himself out of the darkness.
Yeah, exactly. He fell into it.
And Q is like able to escape that. He doesn't fall in. Yeah, I can see that. Don't they do a thing earlier when they're running away from the cops? Like they go onto a roof and they see like the big drop off. Don't they set that up early in the movie? Am I wrong?
I think no. I think sorry. I think you're right. I think there is at the very beginning they're running away from the cops and they get on the rooftop. But I don't know if they see they jump. And because I think they see they look down at the big drop, but then they proceed to jump over it together. Yeah, and they look back at the cops.
I don't know if it's the same roof or whatever, but it's it's kind of interesting that they go back to this moment, but one of them's Q's trying to pull them up from the drop, and I don't know. It was just something that I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's dope. Because it's just cool because. Like I forgot about that scene until you just brought it up, and I'm like, oh yeah. They were on the rooftop already, and it was just those two as well. Like Raheem and Still had already got away, so
But, neat.
Dope.
All right, let's see. We talked about the funeral. I think we talked about pretty much everything that I had in mind, unless you have more stuff you want to
it's a short movie. I think it is. Yeah. It's a short, succinct.
I always appreciate.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate it. It gets the job done. Great acting. Yeah, I love this movie. I don't know what like hood classic I want to show next to you. But we'll get there when we get there. I think I want to do like Boys in the Hood because
Right.
I think that's another one that's people love that movie.
Yep.
John Singleton.
Right.
Yeah.
Big boy John.
Any closing remarks?
Did we ever talk about the fact that back when we talked about the prequels, did we ever talk about the fact that Tupac was going to be in the prequels?
No, was he going to be like Mace Windu?
Yeah, George Lucas wanted him to be Mace Windu, and so he asked Samuel L. Jackson to talk to Tupac and ask him. But then obviously he died in '96, so
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was cast instead.
That's honestly crazy. I didn't know that. I can't see Tupac as Mace Windu, but I wouldn't be mad. Like I want to see it. I can't see it, but I want to see. I will want to know what
it'd
he
be an
would do with that.
interesting alternate timeline.
Yeah. It's so like it's also funny because like I know you're not into rap or whatever, but obviously like a lot of people know about like the feud that happened between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I'm sure you kind of know about it at least.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
vaguely aware of it, and you and Max talked about it a lot, and I was somewhat tuned in.
Yeah, and one of so if you didn't know, like Kendrick is like a huge fan of Tupac. Like,
Right.
one of the albums I want to show you, Riley, eventually is To Pimp a Butterfly, but that was supposed to be To Pimp a Caterpillar, and the acronym would be Tupac, right? But he just decided that To Pimp a Butterfly made more sense, with what the theme he wanted to go with. But yeah, he's been a huge fan of Tupac since he was young. He was even like his dad took him to like a one of the Tupac videos when it was getting shot around Compton, because that's where Kendrick is from, right? So like it's just funny because Drake tried to use that against Kendrick in the beef, and one of the lines he says is, "Okay, we get it. You think you're Bishop and Juice, right?" And it's just really funny because you wouldn't know that had you if you didn't know about like the movie or whatever.
Right.
And someone did like a talking point of like Kendrick heard that line and basically was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not Bishop, I'm Q," and it's just like this really weird like association with Juice the movie and these two people fighting in this rap battle. Like I'm just like, wow, this is crazy that someone made this like really weird connection to them. But it's all like triangle, like because Tupac and Kendrick and whatever. But yeah, it's cool.
Right.
It's cool.
It's that's weird. I knew we were going to record this today because we set it up last night, but I was driving to work today, and I as I always do, I put on my my nasty white liberal NPR radio station.
Hell yeah.
My whatever acronym that turns into, and I shit you not, I started my car and I turned the radio up, because I don't know, you obviously don't know this, but my my console in my car is broken, so I can't actually turn my radio off. So all I do is turn it off, like turn the volume up and down. Anyway, I turned the radio or the volume up, and the story they're covering is I don't know what it was because I came in like almost at the end of it, but they're talking about Tupac and they're talking about like his death and rappers that were associated with him and stuff. And I'm just like, that's a crazy coincidence considering we're gonna be covering this movie tonight.
Insane.
So,
insane. Shout out to the Tupac.
I learned that his mom was a Black Panther. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a huge influence on like I know him and his just ideology, especially attacking like art and writing and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
It's really cool. That's why a lot of people thought that Tupac had like faked his death and went to Cuba. It's so fucking weird.
Right.
But yeah,
I imagine a lot. We should do a we should do a podcast where instead of doing a movie, we compare the conspiracies around the death of Tupac and the supposed death of Paul McCartney.
Oh my god. Oh,
Could
that
you
would be
imagine?
so fun because we could like we do a bunch of research and like we bring things to the table of like the most insane things that people have thought of. Oh god, that sounds so fun, Riley.
Dog, we gotta do the deep dive into the Abbey Road funeral procession.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah, that was
My question
neat.
for you before we
Yeah,
close out
dude,
here.
question time.
Uh what's your favorite juice? And would you
Oh.
offer it to Bishop in order for it to save your life?
The first question seems so digestible. Now, all right, well, I'll deal with the second part later. What's my favorite juice? I really like if you can get proper fresh squeezed orange juice. I really don't like, you know, most orange juices that you can get at the store.
Yeah.
But a proper fresh squeezed orange juice tastes so good.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I love good orange juice.
But yeah, man, yeah, like any other orange juice, it just makes my skin crawl. Not really. I used to drink a lot of orange juice out of the jug, but nah, that's good. And then the other one, man, a long time ago. What was it? It was like cranberry,
Ooh, okay.
either cranberry raisin or cranberry grape or something that I really liked as a kid.
Yeah, cran grape's
Craisin juice,
good.
crapple juice.
I love cran apple. You should.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't really,
treat you to some
not too much.
cran apple Royal Crown.
All right.
Fucking phenomenal.
And would I offer it to Bishop
Yeah.
to try and save my
Fresh
life?
squeezed orange juice.
I mean, I guess. I don't know what
He
other
pulls a gun
option
out
I
you. You're
would
like,
have.
wait, I got something for you. Fresh squeezed orange juice. You think he's capping you?
Well, why is he after me in the first place?
Well, you're friends, but now he has a gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think he's still capping me.
Okay. Mine would be like I really, really love peach juice, and maybe I'm
Peach juice.
like a sucker because I like Minute Maid peach juice, but that's like
I don't think I've ever
processed
had that.
stuff. But God, peach juice is it's so refreshing.
I don't even know if I've ever heard of peach juice. Do I have to go find that?
Yeah, like go get some Minute Maid peach juice. Oh,
All right, I'll try and find that at the store, and
Yeah.
I'll report back.
if
next
you like
time.
peaches, man.
I don't like peaches.
Oh, okay. Don't look for it.
Well, no. Here's my point. I don't like peaches because I hate the fuzz of a peach.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's horrible. It makes my skin crawl. That's why I like nectarines a lot more. Nectarines are basically peaches, but without that disgusting, horrible fuzz that makes me want to wiggle out of my skin.
Okay, that's so fair. I sometimes I ask for extra fuzz in my juice.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
That should be illegal. What you just said.
The vocabulary
Holy moly.
police just come and just snatch me up. You can't put those words in the sentence, sir. Yeah, no, I'm definitely getting capped. Yeah. Bishop's gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Doesn't even let you finish.
He's like, I hate fuzz.
Have some peach juice, extra fuzz. You say fuzz? You going to the police?
Here's your hot fuzz. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right,
Socials, man.
So well. First of all, do we know what we're doing next time? Is it
I don't know. You want to
bring something to the
do
table?
Avengers, or do you want to just do a random movie again? Because we don't have to do Avengers.
I have a list of stuff I can bring to the table. We'll do one of those, and then we'll do Avengers.
Okay. This isn't for certain, but I would love to bring someone in for Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's if it comes down to it and they can't do it or they just don't want to do it, that's fine. We can we could just go ahead with it. But I think they would add
Sure.
some cool talking points to it too. But yeah, okay, we can do Avengers next. I'm excited.
Alrighty.
This is where Marvel gets good, boys and girls and everyone in between.
Be the last of phase. Are we doing anything for the end of phase 1? Are we doing like a ranking of the movies within that phase?
We can. I don't know if you want to do that within the next, like with the episode of the Avengers,
I think we
or
probably could.
yeah,
I don't think that really constitutes its own entire episode.
yeah.
I mean, it might, but I don't know. We could just do it within that episode and do it an extra long
2
one.
hours,
I mean,
baby.
we've done really long podcasts before. It doesn't matter.
Dude, our fucking Last of Us podcast episode is like 3 hours or something. That's mainly because of me, though. I'll take blame for that one because I was just fucking
Fair.
comparing it the whole time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, holy moly! You mentioned us doing Game of Thrones season 1. I feel like most of that would just be me comparing it to the books.
Yeah, that'd be cool for.
Oh,
I'd
wow.
be down for that though.
Man.
In
Yeah,
case you
we gotta
guys
fix
didn't
this
know,
goddamn book.
Riley's the reason. Like, Riley got me into fantasy in a way that I didn't think I would ever be into fantasy. Because I just wasn't a big like knights and armor and dragons, and I was like, I don't care. Like, I didn't like Lord of the Rings. I think Harry Potter teeters on that. I was like, I don't really want to watch Harry Potter.
Right.
But after Riley was like, we're gonna watch Game of Thrones, I was like, oh, do we have to? But then Riley like gave me this whole backstory of Game of Thrones, and so it's a little bit of Riley and Martin. But like, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, is this what
I
fantasy's
wasn't even
about?
sure if that was the best way to introduce someone to the show because, like, I feel like that show it honestly the pilot does a good job of introducing that show, but I honestly felt like it was still going to be too overwhelming if you didn't at least know the general idea of what this backstory was going to be.
Yeah, you know what's so weird, because like I was like, how do people get into the show without the Riley introduction?
Yeah.
Like,
I had my brother. That's the thing. He basically did a lot of that for me, where we watched it together, and he would just basically pause whenever I had a question, and he would just like try and answer it to the best of his abilities without spoiling anything. So
that's dope, because I think my mom was the same way. Because my mom was like, I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones, and I was like, okay, well, let me give you like a little backstory. And it's so funny because I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how the information from your brother to you was, but I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a very diluted version of what Riley gave me. So I'm just imagining the story get diluted every person it goes down. But like I tell my mom like, oh, this is what happened. This is like kind of like what the Mad King was doing, blah blah. So then my mom's watching it and she's like, oh, so and then once again like she'll pause it and then she'll be like, oh, so was the Mad King this and this, or like wait, when does this take place, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I can try to answer. I was like, I'll just ask Riley if I really need like help. But yeah, that's really cool, man. It's just I'm just confused on how people get into it without any knowledge.
it's overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's admirable that the fact that they tried to adapt that. And that's what Martin said. He said he would never allow them to make a film adaptation, and he said like it's probably never going to be adapted. The only way I could possibly see it being adapted is into some kind of, I don't know, HBO show or something. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they did. And then they made a pilot, and it was terrible, so they had to re-record the pilot.
I recently saw someone talk about like someone was like, could you imagine being in a pilot of a show and like it does bad and you're like, oh fuck, and then so they like kind of dissolve the pilot or they shop it around some more and then they recast like your character and everyone, and then that show fucking blows up. And they were talking about the cast for like Danny, the woman for Danny. I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, way off topic.
Yeah,
Socials,
way off topic, sorry.
Isolation on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I'm still kind of in a releasing slump. I have stuff I could be releasing, but my goodness, I've been so busy. I have just been really busy at work. I will get back to releasing stuff. What do I have coming up? We have Final Fantasy V. Me and Max and Alex have been recording. That's coming out. We have my playthrough of StarCraft 1, which I recorded about 3 years ago, and I'm finally getting around to, at least the first few episodes, getting around to releasing that. Still playing Here's the Storm, going through that, and maybe some really fucking old 4-year-old progressive recordings might be coming out. Just all the normal stuff if you're already familiar with my channel. Oh, and more Persona 4 as well. I played a little more of that, and I'll release that at some point. Yep, that's it. White Solution on Twitch, but I don't really stream that much, especially considering my internet issues that hopefully will be fixed soon because I'm gonna take my computer in and hopefully get it fixed. And beyond that, I don't have any other socials. Should I do the running joke?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have a
Working
Blue
on
Sky
Blue
yet, but
Sky.
maybe my next time I'll get on Blue Sky.
Oh man. Yeah, Modern Day Age on everything. Modern Day Age with 2 E's on Twitter. As for content I'm putting on YouTube, I don't have anything as of now, but I have acted in a few things. So that's pretty cool. I recently acted in like this horror thing for a friend. He was submitting it to like a short film contest. So it was cool. Got to put on like some melting face prosthetics. It was really fun, but also stanked like hell. So
It was good.
yeah. But besides all that, still working on some film stuff myself. Currently almost done with one of my films. I just have to get the scoring done, and I think it's like near perfect. So I'm really excited to whenever I start shopping that around to like film festivals stuff and all that. But yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else. Add me on my socials.
Nice.
And
All
remember, stack your refrigerator with some juice. Yeah.
Some peach juice.
Yeah. Especially with extra
With extra
fuzz.
fuzz.
Hell yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.